Welcome to today's Texas Development Summit. This is our yearly meeting wherever we get coaches, club admins, and referees together to come and talk about the various kind of issues that are important, to them. This is our fourth year that we're doing it. My name is Joe Linehan. I work for USA Water Polo, specifically Texas Development, which is sports growth and sports development. And I appreciate everyone coming on this morning. I know it's Thanksgiving weekend. I hope that everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving. This is the weekend that the Southwest Zone Events Committee decided that this was the best weekend to have it. Tomorrow is also the ODP, so we didn't want to have it on Sunday, but I do appreciate everyone coming. Now, again, the purpose of this meeting is to bring everybody together. We do not have, coaches tend to not have a whole lot of time to talk at tournaments. There's coaches here that live 4 or 5 kind of hours apart. And what's it called? And we don't really have a whole lot of time, especially now because teams have to leave. This is an opportunity for people to not have a rush conversation in the hospitality room or between coaches or refs or people are angry about a result or something. We want to have this to be a very sharing and collaborative environment, very positive. So if you are watching, please feel free to put your videos on just so we can see everybody. I am going to mute kind of everybody here. But if you do want to share, please unmute yourself and feel free to share. We want everybody to feel free to share and to be able to give their opinion. We can all learn from each other throughout this whole process. So please feel free to share and kind of lend your expertise and give your opinions kind of along the way. I might call on some people that are in the meeting that have something specific to say about something that we are talking about. But again, this is not everybody here just listening to me. Just before we start, I'm going to go over a couple kind of announcements. First of all, in the chat, if you go up, I put the meeting agenda in at the top of the chat. So if you are kind of curious about that, I'm also going to share that with everybody now. So here we have, this is our meeting agenda. Just we're gonna have a quick little kind of the summit introduction now with me. We're gonna have Robert Albeck kind of a welcome from our Southwest Zone chair. Then we're gonna get into our coach club admin meeting. Then we're gonna take a quick little break. Then we're gonna have a referee meeting that's gonna be moderated by Angela kind of Una, who's already on here. Thank you so much, Angela. And then we'll have a joint kind of the club admin, coach, and referees together. And then that's going to be it. And we are going to keep this very targeted and to the point and on topic. And if anybody if we go off the rails, I will mute people, but I want people to feel free to share their opinions, please, throughout. Okay. Just a little reminder for those coaches. We also have a Texas Coaches Academy this afternoon. We have almost about 50 people registered for that. That'll be from 1 to 4:30 with a couple breaks built in with Spencer Dornan and Ian Davidson and Drew Clute are giving various kind of clinics. We also have the ODP Southwest Zone camp tomorrow in Louisville. So all the information is going to be on the pages that are already in the chat. I already put links on there. Now, one thing that everybody does that is the number one topic on everyone's mind throughout almost all conversations is COVID, right? There are a lot of challenges kind of out there. We're going to touch on a lot of them in our meetings a little bit later on, but please, if you have issues or you have questions, please reach out. I am here to help you out. Please let me know kind of how we can help with ideas and kind of sharing best practices. Also, don't be afraid to reach out from club to club. Okay, people are here to support each other. Like a good club in North Texas, they need another good club in North Texas. We need everybody to be playing just so we can all rebuild this whole thing together, because everybody's going to have some issues with related to COVID, with kids that when started playing basketball, or soccer, everybody's gonna have to rebuild to a certain extent. And of course, it's not kind of easy kind of hosting events. So please make sure that if you have any questions, please ask, please reach out, and there's people out there to help and support each other. Okay. Any questions so far? Please ask as we go here. Okay. And then just one last thing is we do have something called the Southwest Zone Events Committee. The Southwest Zone does host a number of events each year. One is the Spin Lob Classic. 2 is Tags, which normally happens in April or May kind of each year. That's for the 8th grade and the 6th grade and under state championship. Then we have our national junior kind of Olympic qualifier tournaments, and then if needed, the Champions Cup qualifier in the fall. Now, those are the major events that the Southwest Zone kind of runs. We do have a committee that is now going to be running those events beginning in 2021. That committee is made up of Scott Slay is the committee chair. We have Spencer Dornan from Pegasus Water Polo. We have Allie Hill from Longhorn Aquatics. We have Brandon Dion from Thunder Water Polo. And we have, why am I blanking now? Geez, apologize. Who else is on that committee? And then we have Taylor Cox from Southside. So I apologize, Taylor. And so we have met a number of times since the whole pandemic started. We have a whole kind of series of events. They all know what their jobs are, and they are ready to go starting in 2021. Just to let everyone know, the Spin Lob Classic has been canceled for 2021. It will start up again in 2022. That is the Masters tournament that happens that happens in Austin at UT in February, kind of each year. That event has been canceled. So I'm going to share my screen again real quick. Okay. So that's not what I wanted to share just yet. But just to let everybody know, so here's then kind of one of the things that the Southwest Zone Events Committee does do. So they also have the Southwest Zone calendar. Here's the calendar at the Southwest Zone website. The Southwest Zone website is southwestwaterpolo.org. And here you can just see all the different events that are happening this month, and then in December as well. As you can see, in December, you have the upcoming virtual holiday camps of USA Water Polo and Coach Academies. There's the Azevedo camp up in North Texas that athletes can sign up for. We also have the Tags tournament, which is December 12th and 13th for the 9th grade and younger kids, and the Cowtown Stampede for the 18U athletes. Those are both December 12th and 13th. So the calendar has been updated through 2021. Of course, if your club does host, please take a look at it and review and let me know if the date needs to be changed here or there. All right. Yeah, some other things that are out there. We are going to have we are going to have a coach and referee series and watch series and some town hall meetings in December, January, and February. I'm working with Angela to work on those details, and we'll get those details out to everybody later this week. And then just to let everybody know, please make sure you check out the USA Water Polo mobile coaching app, which is this just gives you kind of an idea that that's on. We have a ton of physical distancing type drills and skills kind of on there, and you just click on it and it brings up kind of a video. So please make sure you check that out. Okay. Okay. And then the mobile coaching app directions are online at the USA Water Polo website. And then also, please make sure you check out the txwaterpolo.org the txwaterpolo.com website. This has a bunch of webcasts and podcasts and resources. These meetings are being recorded and they will be posted online at this website later this weekend. All right. Does anybody kind of have some questions here? Those are just my quick little kind of announcements. Again, we're going to keep this quick and on time. The meetings are a little bit kind of shorter than in past development summits, but please, I know people are sick of Zoom meetings and are sick of staring at the screens. But please make sure if you have questions, please bring them up. If you have comments, please feel free to share. All right. I'm now going to hand this off to Robert Allback, who is our Southwest Zone Chair. He's going to give a little bit of a welcome from the Southwest Zone. Robert, it's all you.
Good morning, Joe, and good morning, everybody. Just to confirm, you folks can hear me? Excellent. Host disabled participant screen sharing. Joe, I'd like to screen share, please. All right, thank you. And then just a confirmation that you folks can see my screen. Excellent. Thank you very much. Okay, good morning, everybody. And again, as Joe said, thanks for showing up and dedicating one of your few days off to attending this water polo event. I'm Robert Allbach. I'm your current Southwest Zone Chair. I'm pleased to see that we've got multiple zone board members here with me as well. If you would like to get a copy of this presentation, or if you have any questions in general, please feel free to send an email to me. These are the two emails that are optimal to get my replies. So simple enough, first initial, last name, rallbach at either Gmail or uswaterpolo.org. So I've got approximately 15 minutes. My hope is that I'll be able to run through this in about 12 minutes or so, and then we'll have about 3 minutes for questions, as you wish. So first, I thought we would start with a little bit of an organizational discussion. We'll talk a little bit about the board, where the board sits relative to all these other different organizations that comprise water polo within our zone/state. And then we'll get into some numbers, and then we'll get into some additional details, and then close it out to return you back to the rest of the program. All right, so your zone board 2020, I happen to be chair, and John Reitmeyer is vice chair, treasurer Jim, or as we know him, Jimmy Linehan. Zone referees, these are non-voting positions appointed by USA Water Polo. Angela, who's on the board and also attending, she's responsible for development, and then John Reitmeyer also. So you'll see within the little gold boxes here that Christy representing North Texas, the Dallas area, myself representing Austin, John at San Antonio, and then we've got 3 people in the Houston area, Jim, Kristen, and Scott. So a little heavy on Houston, but at the least, we've got most of the major metropolitan areas represented, and that's a key element of our goal has always been to try to be as inclusive as possible, given that there are significant regional differences in some cases here. This is, I'm going to spend a little extra time on this because it's sort of an interesting thing. Not everyone's sort of aware of how things came to be, meaning most of you aren't as old as I am. So in the beginning, there was the Amateur Sports Act of 1978. Prior to that, everything was AAU. You may or may not have been a swimmer, probably not a water polo player under the old AAU auspices. But there was something called the Ted Stevens Amateur Sports Act that created the United States Olympic Committee. And parallel to that is this entity called the USA Center for Safe Sport. These are 2 bodies that, to some effect, actually drive the behavior of USA Water Polo. So USA Water Polo is a national governing body which operates under the United States Olympic Committee. And that's a fairly important thing, and you'll see that a little bit later on. USA Water Polo is legally its own independent entity. However, because it wants to be the national governing body, it has to adhere to USOC rules and such. All right, and one of those rules is thou shalt comply with U.S. Center for Safe Sport. And that happens to be a fairly hot topic at the moment for some very unfortunate reasons. Well, just flat out, safe sport is a good thing. Having to deal with safe sport means something's gone wrong. So these are the cases that we have. We have 11 zones that we work with here. We are the Southwest zone. And within the Southwest zone, we have 2 committees. Joe's already mentioned the event committee. These are currently unofficial committees. One of the bodies of work that we wanted to get done this year was to actually enshrine them in our direct operating rules and conditions. That's a task that we'll have to carry over next year. Now, on the right, you'll note the red line. There are a number of organizations that we work either in parallel with or directly with in some form of fashion. And we've got board representation on some of these. So we've got basically in alphabetical order, College Water Polo Association. There are actually 8 colleges, 7 of them in Texas, 1 Louisiana State, which have both men and women's programs. There's only 4 women's programs and 8 men's programs. 1 NCAA team after a gap of many, 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 many decades. No, not so many. Was it 4 decades, maybe 4 decades. Back when Texas A&M used to have an NCAA team. Tisco Water Polo, Scott Slay is on point, board member participating there. TOPO, Texas Association of Water Polo Officials, John Reitmeyer, right there. Per the Tisco website, we had 89 high schools playing water polo in 2019. Ostensibly, there are more, but that was what was listed actually within the Tisco site. Now, not yet officially engaged with, but looking forward to the day. We've got Texas Association of Sports Officials and then UIL. Note, the UIL is in fact a part of the University of Texas system, meaning this is actually a state agency. That could potentially have some impact on the way that we happen to work with entities when we're dealing with high school. Now, obviously, officially, USA Water Polo does not run high school events, but at the same time, we absolutely look to cooperate, and there will be some potential impacts in those areas. And I'll talk about that in a little bit later going on. Committees, events, masters, events and masters. Joe's already spoken to a large extent on the events group. I want to thank Joe for running that, getting that established. We have long had a need to offload Joe from running everything for us. And he tells me that 2021, that this will be the year that this particular group will actually start running zone events. And this is a very critical set of activities for a number of reasons. Obviously, giving opportunities for kids to play as well as masters. And then in addition to that, it's also a major revenue source for the zone. On the masters side, their goal is to drive greater masters participation. I'm on the National Masters Committee, so I'm that bridging participant per se, but I don't run the group. And that's kind of a key point here, is that the goal is for these people to run themselves. Kristen is also a board member. And you'll note the membership here, we have both males and females from each of the major metropolitan areas that have masters participation here. And they've met twice, so established effectively in September, and they've met every month thereafter. So I'm very pleased. They're very much self-starting, and I like where they're going. Numbers, finances. USA Water Polo. I am a strong believer in the claim that if you want to determine what an entity is about, you look at their expenses. In other words, where do they actually spend their money? And some of this, of course, is related to where do you get money? So the largest percentage of USA Water Polo's revenue comes from the membership. That's very good. Event income, Masters, Nationals, JOs, of course, being the big piece there. And you'll note ODP, Olympic Dev Program. That is a pretty good size moneymaker for USA Water Polo. Hence one of the reasons you'll see so much emphasis on it. But if you look at the gold numbers, so you'll see that about 10% of the revenue for USA Water Polo is actually grants of some form or another from the United States Olympic Committee. Remember that relationship that we talked about earlier going on. So you'll see that approximately, again, 10% of all revenue for our organization comes from the United States Olympic Committee. Total revenue, just shy under 13 million for 2019. That's not a whole lot of money, to be perfectly honest. So to a large extent, we rely on volunteers, as we have on this board group and then across all the other boards, and all of you doing what you do, things to happen. With regards to expenses, membership, fortunately, like to see that. That is the highest expense, but you'll then notice that a little over a third of all development of our revenue is spent actually on the women's and men's national teams. So effectively, those folks who represent us worldwide. And that's the official purpose of USA Water Polo, which is growing the sport, right? That's the membership expense. That's the number one expense. And then also getting medals at international competitions, be that the Pan Am Games, Pan Pacific, and Olympics as well. So you'll note also that revenue is greater than expenses, always a good thing. I'm a business person myself, so you like to be on the positive side of things, but that's basically where that money sits. Now, each zone has their own set of assets as well. So this is 2019, 2018. You'll note that different zones have got more and less. Southern Pacific zone has got a heck of a pile of money. And we are kind of in the middle of the pack, but we have been net positive for a number of years there. And this again kind of harkens back to what I said earlier about the importance of the events committee. They are the primary source, actually the exclusive source for all revenues that we have that comprise our assets. And these are cash assets. So just want to make note that this is just cash money that's in the bank. And this is reasonably accurate, by the way. We do have some non-cash assets, though. We do have equipment. There's a game system in Austin, specifically my garage, which is comprised of scoreboard, shot clocks, and controller. We did not have a mobile set of clocks here in Austin. Actually, this is the only official set of game clocks outside of Dallas, Houston, and San Antonio. None of the pools here have those types of systems. And then there's a shot clock and controller group in Houston as well that I believe is sitting in the Oliver garage. And this is largely when we were doing a whole lot of league days where things were having to move around. Just basically, what can we do to enable water polo? We have the zone budget. The way this works is that the zone chair creates a zone budget, and then we outlay these expenses as we go. So 2020, this was made in January. 2020 was not a normal year. A lot of our money-making events did not happen. And as such, we've actually pulled back on the investments that we have initially planned. There was a set of clocks that were going to be floaters for statewide. We have not made that purchase yet. Referee development has been the number one or number two investment. The referees are critical to the growth of our sport. Good and more referees is something we're always wanting to get. And other things here that we haven't done, no Connor Cup this year. You may have noticed that there's been no invitations from national headquarters to nominate people. It's because, again, it's been a very sucky year. No one wants a little asterisk in that they say We've also helped fund Joe's work in the development side. We gave him $1,000 to put towards a training site. You can go see its current status at txwpa.com. It will grow over time.
It's very still developmental, but
yeah, lots of Latin on it.
We only have a couple more minutes left, Robert.
Yeah, the traditional ipsum lorem types of stuff at point. But this is just basically the budget as was. So we'll end up probably being net neutral over 2020. And again, if you ever have questions on what you would like to see, or if you think that these things are not necessarily as you think should be done, then let the board know. All right, initiatives. There was 3 primary initiatives that was going on. The first was geographical representation. Within our operating guidelines, there's a statement in there saying that we could actually divide up our zone board membership to actually represent geographic regions. This was something I'd hoped that we would get done this year. Key thing is prior written approval, USA Water Polo's chief executive officer, he turned it down. So I'm a little bummed about that. Part of why, because it took like 3 months to get the answer back. So wasn't real pleased with the delay, but there we are. Part of that also would have been the zone charter update to get the zone representation in the charter, to get the committees officially put in there. Plus, there's actually some errors in zone charter with regards to how things run. USA Water Polo said, yes, we realize that we've got some errors and we need to make some changes. No progress made there. Water Polo Academy site, you've seen that. It's in progress. And then referee, tourney, dev with that zone budget, again, in progress as well. 2021, zone board will be different. We'll be adding Zach Cleveland. I don't know if he's on this call or not. And he'll be representing North Texas along with Christy. Same groups down in Houston and John Reitmeyer. You'll note there is no longer going to be any representation for the Austin area. That's unfortunate. It's just the way it worked. I fully recognize the irony of not getting that metropolitan area piece in there, and the fact that our fastest growing metropolitan area in the state will no longer have a rep. So there will be a new chair as well as treasurer that will be determined by election either at the end of this year or early 2021. And then the zone referees remain the same. So with that, if there's any questions or comments, you can certainly send emails to me, or if you wish, I don't know if we have a minute or two to discuss anything, but I will accept any and all as you so wish.
Yeah, Robert, can you go ahead and stop your sharing, please?
Will do. And we're right at the bottom of the hour, so we're back on schedule.
Yeah, thank you so much, Robert. Does anybody have any questions? And I forgot to mention earlier, if you do have questions, please, if you don't want to kind of talk, please feel free to use the chat feature and ask away. But Robert, thank you so much for everything that you've done. Robert is leaving the zone board here at the beginning of 2021. So I just wanted to just take this time to say a very big a very big thank you. You've been involved in youth sports and masters and the board, and I know you're not going away. You're just kind of like you're still going to be kind of in Austin and keep working on the ground level there. So thank you for everything, Robert.
Quite welcome, Joe, and thanks everybody having the opportunity to serve you folks. And of course, I'll be holding those clocks hostage in my garage. So,
all right. Does anybody have any questions? All right.